Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a 2-year update video on Mrs. Pilea Glauca. Mrs. Pilea Glauca. I have a care tips video for this plant on my channel, and it to date is probably the most successful video that I've had. It has over 20,000 views, and most people that seem to have come to my channel kind of found that video first. It's a very short video, and I made it 2 years ago on the Pilea Glauca after a couple of months of having it and kind of figuring out the plant care. Since then, this plant has grown so much. I will insert a clip of what it used to look like, and it's really big now. So let me show you. It needs water. Everything needs water in this heat wave. So this, am I gonna get back? This is how it looks. It's lush, it's very big. It also has grown leaves at the back because of the way the light is. And it's just beautiful, and I love this plant so much. It's so pretty, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it deserved its own special update. And for any of you that watched that video a long time ago, you can get your own update on this girl. I'm gonna leave her here and you can look at her for the rest of the video if you want, instead of looking at me. I did go back and watch that video, which it's quite embarrassing to look back on videos of yourself a while ago. You know, I only had my YouTube channel for maybe 2 months or something at that stage, and I don't think the quality is that good, and I seem very strange, I feel, so that's embarrassing. But yeah, I wanted to rewatch the video and kind of listen to what I said as far as plant care tips go, and see if anything has changed or if I can give you an update on what I've done to kind of get it this big. So this is a beautiful plant with these kind of icy blue, very thin, small circular leaves, as well as red stems. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Because of the delicate leaves, it is a plant that can drop leaves like that, and it still does for me, regardless of really good plant care. So in that video, I kind of go through soil mix, watering, light, pests, all of those kind of different subjects. So I'm gonna quickly go through these. So as far as the soil mix goes, I use a very similar soil mix to how I used to. I probably have a little bit more water retention in the soil mix for this than I used to, and since I've potted it up, that seemed to have worked really well. So the main issue with this plant, like I said, is kind of the leaf drop, and that can happen for 2 main reasons. It can happen for other reasons too, but mainly it's either dried out too much, and when it dries out too much, the leaves get crispy and dry and fall off very easily. Or if it gets overwatered, they can also fall off, but they become kind of mushy. Now I find with this plant personally that it's more that I forget to water it in time than watering it too much. It seems to like having water. It also is one of those plants that, obviously I've had it for 2 years, so I know it pretty well, but it looks visibly thirsty. And when I water it, it kind of perks up again. Like right now, it's kind of at a thirsty state, but then when I water it, it kind of plumps up again and looks super full and bushy. I think that I've just kind of learned, you know, what it looks like when it needs water, and also to just consistently remind myself every time I look at my plants, this is one of the plants I go to first to check, does it need water? Because more often than not, it actually does. I repotted this maybe 8 or 9 months ago, and it probably needs to be potted up again, to be honest, because it is getting a little bit dry too fast. Like I said in my last video, which I'm actually filming on the same day, we have a heat wave at the moment, so it's drying out like this. So to be honest, The care tips that I gave in that original video, I'm proud to say, are generally the same as what I do now. It's just more that over time I've learned more about how to understand when it needs water, and yeah, the key with it is to just not let it dry out too much. In terms of light, it still likes a good amount of light, I find. So this is my spider farmer light. I've made a million videos on this. It does sit here. And like I showed you, the leaves have grown on the other side of the shelf also because of the light coming through behind, which I think is really pretty and cool. So it does definitely grow towards and move towards the light a lot. And it seems really happy there. It's also nice hanging down. I want to see how far I can get it to grow. So really, as long as you're giving it like a good amount of light, I wouldn't give it like super high light because I feel that the leaves are so thin that they would get crispy. But like a good moderate, as they say, bright and direct is good for this. It still hasn't flowered for me. I know the flowers are really small, but it hasn't flowered for me. That might be because I could give it maybe a bit more light than it is. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it takes a little bit more maturing for this plant to flower. I'm not really sure what that's about, but that's no big deal. Like all plants in winter, you do have to be a little bit careful about overwatering. In summer, like I said, I'm watering it pretty often so that it doesn't get too dry. But when we start to transition into colder winter temperatures, and less light, that you have to be very cognizant of changing the watering schedule based on that, just in case you continue watering a lot and then you could run into overwatering problems. I do regularly chop it. I don't generally propagate it because it's very full itself anyway. But every now and again, I will just cut off a little bit from the ends, and that will help it to branch and continue to be bushy. I maybe do that every 5 or 6 months, maybe a bit less, maybe every 4 months. And it seems to be really happy with that. Definitely don't be afraid of chopping it to keep it bushy. That really helps. As I said, I do generally stick by all the things that I said in that video. So for more in-depth, you can go back and watch that video if you haven't already. But otherwise, I just wanted to show you how it's doing and how great it looks, because I just love it. And it is a bit funny at the back. A lot of you seem to like that video, so I just thought it'd be nice to let everybody know how she is doing. So that's it. Maybe we'll do another update in 2 years. We'll see. If you have any questions or if you're struggling with this plant, you can either watch that first video or comment down below and I'll get back to you. That is it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye.